Welcome to Feats and Fables, 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons streaming game just for adventurers like you. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcasts by searching for Feats and Fables. If you want to watch us live and chat with us, please join us on Twitch TV from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time on Monday nights. Our entire backlog is on our YouTube channel. I'm Paige Lightman, the DM, and I'd like to welcome you to Aglaron, a peaceful pastoral land of half-elves. Our heroes of Aglaron are part of the Foresters, elite scouts, rangers, and rangers charged with defending Aglaron's borders, particularly against undead from the evil fascist nation of Thay. The heroes have recovered a mythal artifact that has dragged them into the Feywild and into a conflict with the Shadowfell. Our heroes are trying to find a way to repair a tear between the two planes so that they can take the mythal back to Aglaron. Previously, on Feats and Fables, our heroes had headed into the Shadowfell, where one of its local denizens has just inquired as to who they are. So let's meet our heroes. Right, we have Ross, a lizard folk Drake Warden Ranger Barbarian, played by Coda of Codab Games.
Would y'all believe that I haven't done any voice work to get ready for tonight, so here goes nothing. Hello, everyone.
Pretty good. Pretty good. We have Malagar, a Drow Twilight Cleric, played by Dr. Andrew Wong.
You know, it occurred to me that in the introduction we're described as rangers, but really Ross is the only one who fulfills that requirement for us.
You know?
I think that's all that is legally required by the Aglarondian law. I'm not entirely familiar with it, but from everything that has been explained to me, it just takes one half.
I
mean, fair.
And really, are any of us skilled in the forestry arts? Can we even call ourselves the Foresters?
I mean, I went to a forest once. Wait, I heard about a forest once, which means that's more than most dwarves have ever done.
I've grown up in a forest and swamp similar to those of Aglarond. I'm sure I could fake it.
Fair.
Looks like we have Ron back, which means he can be introduced.
All right. And then we have... I'm really...
Victor Toussaint.
Victor Toussaint, a human eldritch night fighter played by Ron Frankie.
Last, but, well, potentially least, we'll see.
We're in a completely novel order tonight, but that's fine. Mm-hmm. That's fine. We react to changing environments.
We've only been doing this for a year or more.
And we have Bellewynn, a dwarven paladin princess, played by Ben Heisler.
I mean, the good news is that I never technically became a forester, so I don't have to fit the job description. That said, I'm super excited to see how this goes without the guiding light of wildfire to keep us on the, I don't want to call it the straight and narrow, but on the right track in the Shadowfell. So this is going to be a great time.
I think he's workshopping new names now that wildfire isn't really appropriate.
I don't know.
Mango still has my vote.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's not like we are about to cast some major magics to close a rift between two planes of existence. Why would we need a wizard for that?
It's okay. He left us these notes here, and I'm pretty sure I've written most of them down.
Wait, you can read this?
Why does step 1 say, don't let Ross touch anything?
Because that's the first thing they said.
He actually bought a whole pad of paper where that was just printed on the top.
Ooh!
Brother Bounder!
I think we're dancing first! Woo!
We're dancing at 3 times.
Moments to get it over to you so that they can also see you dance.
This is a
Yes.
great transition
There we go.
out of character introduction and into our game. So everybody dance!
Yeah, everybody dance. I'd like to see dancing in our audience. Get up in your chair and boogie.
So
Woo!
Paige,
Run
just
down.
as a quick shout out, other than Brother Flounder's 3 gift tier 1 subs, thank you very much, Brother Flounder.
Very
We
much.
did get what I thought was a really cool idea on our Discord channel under the Evil Ideas for Page.
Oh,
I don't
no.
know if you saw this, but Old Slow Tiger posted a tweet from
Wait, are you
Shrek
reading the
Biswas.
Evil Ideas for Page section?
It says, well, this one I think is really cool. And I think it's cool enough to share with people. Every time you ask for a death saving throw,
Yep.
ask a player for a memory
I'm
that
way
flashes
ahead of you.
before their
Oh.
eyes.
Way
I
ahead
was
of
like,
you.
that
go
that is such a cool idea.
Yes, I saw that on Twitter today because Goblin Katie, or yesterday, today, because Goblin Katie had retweeted it, and I'm just like, oh, that is such a good idea.
I mean, that's one of those things that I think all DMs and players should think about implementing because it's such a obvious way to introduce some character background.
Yeah,
Very cool stuff.
very cool stuff indeed. Yes, I am a big fan of that.
Now she'll just have to, get us into death save mode more often.
Oh yeah, yeah. But I
Okay.
feel confident that that is a thing that I can handle.
Look, for chat, at no point did I say that I would not be reading the Evil Ideas for Page page.
I need to make that send me notifications.
Yeah, you do.
Good,
But,
good luck with that, because you get such a great track record of looking at other Discord notifications.
Dun,
Discord
dun,
is not the way to get a
dun.
hold of me. Discord
Oh,
is
God.
not the way to get a hold of me. Gelatinous Rube is on my side.
I don't know what you're talking
Yes.
about, Paige. We all just reverently read our Discord channel that you, the viewer, can take part in.
Or you
Thank
can
you
just
for feeding us terrible ideas.
How would someone get in contact with you, Paige?
DM me on Twitter.
Or go to our Discord channel and actively use our Discord channel where we all definitely are.
Yeah,
And then
100%.
Coda will remind me to go to Discord.
Yeah,
They can
Coda
see
will
who's
see
at.
Coda will see a really good idea. He'll read it and be aware of it, and then he'll decide whether or not to notify you of it.
Oh,
And
now
at
that's
that
a good point.
that's when
Ugh.
you become aware of it.
I hate
Amazing.
to say this, but y'all give me way more credit because there are no filters. There are no filters. It is.
So
I
We
open
know
my
Coda.
mouth and words come out.
let me point out, at no point did I say you would take that idea and come up with a way to counteract it or a way to save us from it. You would just be like, you would let it wash over you, and then you would notify Paige.
Paige, Gelatinous Rube suggests you murder us all with instant death so they could get flashes of our lives.
I
think
mean,
it's a great idea. Let's do it.
we are in the Shadowfell, and that way Wildfire will have to come and rescue us. This sounds great.
Ooh.
And we are about to, discover what terrible things we get into without him.
Yep. So,
I'm not sure we need help with that, though.
when last
not
we
really.
left our heroes, you'd been walking through this barren, stripped-down forest in the Shadowfell. Let me go give you some visual inspiration for that. Like so.
Ooh, yes.
Maybe they were really just the victim of deforestation here, and it wasn't really some sort of aura of evil and chaos.
I mean, sure, it's entirely possible. But in and around the Shadowfell, you've noticed that bones are just permeate everywhere. And as you were walking through this forest, it kept getting bonier and bonier.
Did it.
Just the way I like it.
Like,
Would you say it was proud and throbbing? What is it? A turgid
No.
forest?
It's turgid. It's not throbbing.
None of the above. It's undead. The literal opposite of what you are talking about.
You haven't had the right experiences before, DM.
I roleplayed undead on a WoW server. That's all I'm saying. But yes, brother Flounder, I knew they were going to gelato this up. That's correct. I've never seen it used as a verb before, but now
You've used it as a verb before.
no, I don't think I have.
Hey, everybody. I've got this crate of wine with me. It's a nice Chianti.
And one of the sets of bones rose up out of the forest muck and assembled a somewhat humanoid shape and said, I didn't expect mortals here.
Well,
Ooh, DM Inspiration Challenge!
That was real quick.
That was fast. Was that fast? That looked fast.
Like, chat, you don't have to. I guess you do. That's cool. That's cool.
They just want to hear about our memories, Ben.
One of the
Chat, you're the best.
bones themselves is saying that?
No, a bunch of bones assembled together in a humanoid form with a skull on top.
So like
And
a
a couple of
skeleton.
arms and some leg bones and feet. In between, you've got hip bones, rib bones, and the spine.
I mean, I've got my short sword or my sword out and my long sword out and ready to attack this because
You know we're supposed to be wizards, right?
I believe the last time we saw a conglomeration of skeletons, it was busting down walls in a building outside of the Knoll territory. Is that right, Paige?
You are correct.
We just
This
saw.
does not look like that. This looks
Okay.
like maybe only one skeleton, and the bones are kind of held together with, like, gristle.
we're just talking here.
And we saw an entire undead army in stasis near our entry point. Not in stasis, but like standing still.
Chilling.
Chill.
Oh, that group? I wouldn't call that an army. That's merely a gathering.
Oh, all right. Well, it's good that there's only a gathering. We're looking to gather ourselves up with, others of our kind. Say, gesturing because we all still look like what Wildfire thinks Red Wizards of Thay look like.
Mhm.
It's like we seem like that. Get it? Get it?
Seem?
No, only Ben is allowed to make puns. This is so unfair.
Fine, Coda, you may have a point of inspiration. Because it made Ben
I
face
don't want
palm.
your pity inspiration.
Then don't take it. Does somebody else want?
Yeah, I'll take his pretty inspiration. I'll take it right now.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
Just gonna click the inspiration on my
the
sheet.
dirt encrusted skull turns to look at Bellewynn, and it says, "You seem somewhat different than the other wizards."
Right, because we're better than them. We have to show up and make sure that they're on, making quota.
Yes, we're kind of auditors here, you see.
So, out of character, because we discussed this,
Mm-hmm.
we agreed that we were going to be working for one of the other Zulkirs, and I don't remember if it was Transmutation or Conjuration, but I want to decide which one that is now.
I believe last week you decided on Conjuration, but don't hold me to that.
Well, then that's what we're doing going forward.
I mean, you'd rather it be Transmutation than you do whatever you want.
It's fine. It's
Listen, we're a cross-disciplinary auditing team here to make sure that everyone's doing their diligence all over the place, and we're an independent group sent by the others all here to make sure everything's ship-shape and I don't know what's the other term.
And then we all danced for Kurgosh's resub.
Oh my!
Wow, nine months. What?
9 months.
9 months.
9 months. God, we could have birthed the whole show by now.
It's nearly loud enough. Let's
More
turn it up.
music. More.
Yeah!
Deafening. Make it deafening.
Kurgosh. It's Kurgosh. Woo! Thank you, buddy. Mwah! Big appreciates.
Dance party.
Alright.
Paige, I assist the group by keeping my trap shut. I think that counts as an automatic success.
I mean, I think that counts as a
That is kind of the thing that you end up doing. All right. So, right. I
What's
was Bones, and then I was dancing.
Right.
Bones. No. Bellewynn
Yes.
was trying to figure out which way was up.
No, we agreed that we were a cross-disciplinary group representing multifaceted synergies within the Red Wizards of Thay.
Verticals and horizontals.
Yes. Integrations.
Yes. Synergies.
Right.
And in the cloud.
Part of corporate governance.
I believe the rest of the mortals are that way.
Look at the rest of my party as to if we believe this particular skeleton.
More importantly, Paige,
Yes.
is that the way that our dear friend Wildfire, who is totally here and
Totally here.
navigating for us,
Absolutely
we need to
navigating.
go?
So Wildfire thinks about it and says that does not appear to be the exact same direction that everything else was, but it's not that far off of it. And with a passive insight of 15 from Malagar and 16 from Ross, you are unable to tell whether or not the skeletal form is lying or telling the truth.
Let's be on our way.
Great! Well, many thanks, and bye?
The bones noisily collapse into a heap.
Excellent.
What in the hells was that all about?
Just local color.
Both Ross and Malagar, you notice that where there are various skulls tumbled into the dirt, several of them rotate slightly of their own volition to look at you.
Malagar will wave, hello, hello. He'll do the princess wave thing. Hello. Yes, look at all these colorful locals here, listening to everything that we're saying. Probably everywhere.
Well, of course, we have nothing to hide because we're part of the kingdom governance of Thay.
Yes,
Tally-ho!
auditing branch. We're practically accountants here.
So making some sort of we're practically accountants here roll. And
We're
I
practically
Does-
dancing accountants is what we are because we have a 7th month sub.
Oh,
Oh my
Stratus
goodness!
JF with the
Oh!
7 months.
I like
activate the
this.
music! The music!
I'm suddenly regretting eating right before the show because I'm just like,
What do you
why
mean?
are you moving so much?
Is this
Woo-hoo!
eating or destroying digestion?
That's right, folks. If you keep it up, Ben will throw up on camera.
Like, let's not do that. Let's not do that. He can bullseye a womp rat at 10 meters.
Let me just say,
We do not want that.
my breath weapon is a cone, not a line.
I mean, a line, not a cone.
No, I mean I go out in all directions.
This is true.
I was not expecting it to go that far.
Oh.
Neither was I any time it happened.
Damn it, Ben.
30 feet?
Ah!
30
Travis
feet?
JF, thank you for the 7 months.
Woo!
Sorry it ended with Ben talking about his breath weapon.
Nope. We're dancing. And Coda, you started that, friend.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
No, I'm not wrong.
Would you say it's an active theater to convince them that we're,
You're lying.
hapless? Yeah,
It's in a performance check.
I was saying deception.
Oh, deception, yes.
All right, I will roll this thing. I assume I'm being aided by my boon
Yes, I
companions
will
here.
assist you.
Hopefully, I pushed the right button. Oh my!
Oh my!
Bam! It's Malaga pulls
Okay.
out like a briefcase and a set of briefcases and hands them out to everybody.
I am glad that someone prepared for this. And that
Well.
someone was not Wildfire.
Alrighty. Let's see.
Yes, we have many checklists to go down, various pieces of risk to quantify.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out how they're going to respond to this, but
I mean,
Well,
they're
our
going to let us pass
actuarial...
because we got a
Yeah.
crit. I mean,
No,
like,
yeah.
I know.
You asked for a roll, and we beat the
no,
roll.
you absolutely provided me one. I'm just trying to
No,
figure
no.
out.
The DC was 35, Ben.
Oh, I mean that's
Ah,
I don't know. Malagar will extend his arms and scream something like, "Fear our actuarial might!" Fear!
They
You really think that will help us?
it already has. That's the whole
What?
thing.
if you remember, Wildfire in the previous episode downloaded all of his knowledge to both Malagar and the princess. So, like,
True.
I imagine that this is like Malagar just opens his mouth and like light spews out, and the others are just like,
Malagar throws in a few, thaumaturgy effects for just as a bonus, a little ground tremor here,
Use
Sure.
the
weird
vibe
noises.
to help sell
Other-
that you're a wizard.
Yeah.
Doors suddenly slamming open and slamming
Exactly.
towards the distance.
Yes. I'm suddenly way louder than I usually am.
you appear larger. The
This
background
doesn't
is
seem like a
faded
good
dark.
plan.
My hair is more voluminous.
Well, all right, Mr. Pantene Pro V. You, as you continue to walk through the forest, you still hear the faint, particularly Malagar and Ross, hear the faint sounds of bones adjusting in the soil. That leads you to think that you are probably being observed.
I'm used to it.
Sure. And eventually you walk and you find what appears to be a destroyed shrine. And Bellewynn, something about it calls to you.
Oh,
Ooh.
great.
That can't be good.
I saunter, mosey, or even meander up to it.
Okay, you saunter, mosey, or even meander up to it, and a ghostly being hovers into existence.
Oh my.
It is not a humanoid figure, but rather a quadrupedal one. After a moment, it starts to look like a faint, watery outline of a lioness with wings. And all of you hear the lioness speak, but to Ross and Malagor and Victor, it just sounds like roars. Bellewynn, of course, understands it.
Of course. Because I bought
Roars.
that power
Roars.
from Divinity 2, where I can speak to animals, but only if there are certain animals that I can click on in the environments.
Yes.
Sure. Anyhow, the lioness speaks. I thought you might end up here, and because of that, I have protected you, and I have a favor to ask of you.
Oh, well, sure. I mean, probably what, first of all, you have me at a disadvantage. You're not the cat that I met before, whose name I totally remembered, even though it's been a couple weeks.
Ah, I am a different angel.
Ah, great. Wait, a different what?
Angel.
Oh!
Paige, I do have to ask, are we hearing...
I want to know this too.
Are we hearing
Bellewyn's
side of this conversation?
Yes, in perfectly clear, unaccented Dwarven or Common or whatever.
Okay.
So I say unaccented? You know me not.
Dwarven.
Why is Bellewynn conversing with that large cat?
We've seen this happen before, haven't we?
Yeah, I think she worships cats or something.
Oh. Well, go on. That's a horrifying visage.
Belanus continues. This is an echo of an abandoned shrine to Nobanion from the Prime Material Plane. It has been gone for many, many years. Unfortunately, the keeper of this shrine was cursed when the shrine itself was desecrated. She is not far from here. Please, I beg you, send her into her final retirement so that she may once again rejoin the wheel.
Alright. Does that require any kind of, anything special other than a whole lot of...
Hang on. Wait a minute. What have you just agreed to on our behalf?
And I said, oh, right. So there's an angel here that, by, divine power of the god that flows through me, needs me to go kill somebody. So, kill somebody, by that I mean put them to their final retirements, which is really just a fancy way of saying, super kill them.
Listen. Oh, please, go ahead, Ross.
I reach up to scratch my head only to remember that I now have horns there. Isn't this where mortals go when they are already dead?
Well, so apparently, this place, and I gesture to the rubble that's around here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this place used to be a temple to Magad, and then on the Prime, and then it ended up here, and then the person that was in charge of it, who's by the name of...
You were not given a name.
Right. Well, that's why I'm turning to the angel and being like, what's the name?
Oh, gotcha. The keeper's name was Annalette.
Right. So the keeper, Annalette, was doing stuff here, trying to make things right, and apparently went off the deep end, and things went real poor, and so she deserves her rest for fighting the good fight.
Do you mean we'll siphon her spirit to increase her unholy powers?
Yes, of course, that's what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Bellewynn here just owes her some sort of money. All right. I suppose we could do this for you, since I'm guessing this isn't an opportunity you have all the time.
Well, by the great power that Sastam himself has placed in me to, bust ghosts and shites.
Yes.
That's exactly what I should be doing.
And you have the power!
Right, yes, that.
I suppose when one cannot exactly deny the call of the divine. So what do we need to do for your goddess?
You mean for the angel that we are truly going to punish, for we are evil Thanes.
Yeah.
Wink.
Wait, now I'm confused.
Shh. I turn back to the angel. Right, so where exactly was this?
I will put the knowledge in your mind.
Great.
Ooh.
Please put it into the quest log.
All right. You're now not muted. So the angel walks forward and puts her face right up next to yours, and gently boops her nose on your forehead.
Ah!
And you have a sense of where you should go.
Great. How far away is it?
You think it's about maybe a walk of an hour, but it's deeper into the Shadowfell.
Oh,
And
great.
in a different direction than where the skeleton told you there were mortals, and kind of in a different direction than where you're supposed to be going.
Well, great. Great. In that case, let's go forth to do terrible evilness. And a twirl my mustache. About an hour or so that way.
You have a mustache?
No, it's figuratively, because
Oh.
evil.
Also, we're under seaming, so maybe she does have a mustache.
That's
You
right.
don't know.
Yeah, dude.
Thans usually don't go in for facial hair.
Maybe it's a very neat mustache.
There's
Maybe it's
strict
a
rules
magic
about
Maybe it
grooming.
is.
Yes.
So let me just point out that in Thay they won't allow you to have beards. Have a beard if you're a member of the Red Wizards. You can occasionally pull off a mustache, but everyone's going to look upon you poorly for having that mustache.
Until you show them how awesome it is to twirl your mustache and laugh maniacally.
Ben never got to that point with the previous employer. They just told him to shave his beard, and there was a little resentment there.
Mm.
I mean, Thay is evil because they don't allow beards and mustaches.
Clearly.
Yep.
So as you continue to walk through the Shadowfell, you see you walk through the cemeteries that are bigger than the Grand Cemetery of Waterdeep. They stretch out as far as the eyes can see in some places. They many of the graves are in ill repair, and in the dusk light, you can see half visible forms flickering in and around them. The weather varies between a drizzle that is damp and cold and seems to seep into all your clothing, and you end up with cold water down the back of your neck and in your boots.
Ugh.
It's very uncomfortable. And a fog that is a shifting fog, so it's not just you're fogged in and you can't see, but the breeze is blowing enough to where you get patches where you can't see at all and patches where you might have limited visibility. It is thoroughly unpleasant. And Bellewynn leads you to the edge of a ruined castle on a lake, and you can see the remains of a building kind of far off to one side. And eventually, she leads you to a edge of a castle, and you can see that at the edge of the castle there's a bone pile of tremendous proportion, and Bellewynn knows for a fact that in the edge of the castle, that where the stream is eroding away the ground under the wall, that the what you seek is in that grave.
So here-ish.
Yes.
Got it.
And
All
you're
right.
saying that the water is going under the castle itself.
Yeah, it's so the wall is still holding for the moment,
How
but it is being eroded under.
do we know how deep that water is, or is that something we'd have to get closer to discern?
It looks like a creek.
Okay.
So probably not real deep, certainly less than 10 feet.
Good old crick.
And I will summon you some tokens.
Yay, tokens.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see why we would need tokens.
Yeah, no, we're just crossing the river.
Not
We
like
can go
we're
over there and
fight.
It's not even really a river; it's just a creek. Like, let's.
crick.
That's right. We're just gonna crock that creek.
Don't
And,
forget,
like-
everybody, you've got the better dark vision.
Purely for
Right now.
illustrative demonstration.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh,
why would we? Why would we need that?
All right.
And I believe you guys might have been a bit scratched up after your last encounter.
Of course
Um,
we are.
And I
What?
do not know if you have taken a short rest at any point in time here.
We in fact
Uh,
have. I'm
yes.
sitting at 88 of 89 hit points.
We
Okay.
took a short rest before we entered the Shadowfell.
Yes.
Okay.
It seemed like a good idea at the time.
Got it. So, you see a creek, you see some dead trees, you see a ruined castle, and you see just kind of over the edge of it, part of a tall statue. The walls are about 30 feet high, and there's very clearly a walkway inside of them, like up at the top of the cave. You know what I'm talking about.
May I humbly request my character?
She's right here.
Victor, if you'd like, I could scout the area out.
Yes, go forth and see if you can find any spirits whose essence we can steal for our own nefarious purposes.
Okay. Paige, I will descend into the creek.
Okay. Why don't you move your token as appropriate?
Come along, Goose.
Isn't it uncomfortably cold in there?
Not to Ross, it isn't.
I guess that's surprising.
Uh-oh.
I mean, the temperature of the water has not yet been described to me.
Maybe it's nice and warm.
Well, luckily, it's awful, but I'll do it. I mean, Paige, I will lay down and full-on alligator into this water.
Roll 20 says that I have lost connection to the server.
Yeah, it's telling me that too.
Paige,
Exciting
allow
times.
me to take you to the world of your imagination.
Sure
I
thing.
full-on alligator into this water.
All right, you alligator into this water with Goose paddling along beside you. The water is pretty chill, but you don't feel the chill like you normally do because of your wedding ring. And as you're swimming through, it's murky, it's silky, so it's really hard to see through. I'm going to drink some wine because I really need it at this point.
I
Which
mean,
is-
that is some delicious
that's-
looking grape juice on air.
Yes, it's just grape juice, I'm sure.
Totes.
Great drink.
And you kind of feel along for the bottom edge of the wall, and you believe you can find it pretty easily.
Mm-hmm. I'm more interested. Do I feel like with the erosion that is occurring here, is it possible to go under the wall?
Yeah, you think so. It's kind of a tight fit, but you can slither through it.
Okay. I will, in fact, slither through and follow through as far as I can. And instead of surfacing on the other side, I will stick a nose and some eyes above the water.
In a very crocodilian fashion.
However,
on
unfortunately,
brand.
because of seeming, it probably will just look like freaking, Arnold Schwarzenegger from Predator.
A bald, skinny Arnold Schwarzenegger.
But that's what I got.
Nonetheless, the water feels good around your skin. It feels good to be a crocodile, even if you don't look like one.
Yep.
And you do find a way where you can kind of slither along the bottom and kind of dig at the dirt and come up on the other side, and you surface quietly and just take a quiet breath.
Okay. Do I...
In the immortal words of Vin Diesel, it looks clear.
Okay. Do I think that all of my companions, save for Lord McGrumpy Pants, would be able to fit the passage? Do
Instance, effectively have water breathing, one would have to make some athletics checks to push their way through, or dexterity checks to wiggle their way through.
Okay. I mean, I don't really have this kind of experience, but do I think that a human might be able to swim the distance reasonably without taking a breath of air?
I mean,
I'm sure they could, right?
Reasonably, perhaps. Gracefully, no.
Well,
Isn't it just like 10 feet?
I can only do so much.
Yeah, it's the water's actually only about 6 feet, but the bottom is soft and mucky, and it just makes everything difficult.
Why didn't you just throw a rope over the other side?
So I will come back, and I will report to Victor.
Had a nice swim, did you?
There is a passage under the water that will take us inside.
Yeah, go under and just throw us a rope, please.
Did I come out on top of the wall?
No, you came out inside.
You'll have to climb the wall inside.
Was there a method of climbing the wall inside? Did I see stairs?
You got claws.
There's stairs probably 200 or 300 feet down.
How tall is this? How tall is this wall? Is this like a 40-foot wall?
30.
30 feet. 30 feet.
Listen, you people.
Okay.
What?
That's no problem. Sorry,
What is the illumination here?
It is dim light.
I believe we all have some excellent dark vision, though, because we've all been blessed by our most holiest of clerics.
Yep.
Yes. Malaga is going to sort of click his heels together.
And say there's no place like home 3 times?
Something like that. And then he's going to start to rise up into the air.
Witchcraft! Wait, I mean, totally expected magecraft.
What is this?
Oh, it's just one of the extra features I've never actually used from this stupid mail order clerical license.
I mean, this is...
You mean wizard license, right?
Yes.
Cleric license.
I just want to be clear. Did you just admit to us and our viewers that at the moment Coda is remembering more class features than you are?
Ooh, rough.
No, that's not true at all. I've turned all kinds of things. This is just one I hadn't had a chance to use.
This is definitely one of those scenes where, like, as we start to float, like, Ross somehow ends up upside down.
Wait.
Anyways.
Are you floating, Ross?
I don't know. Are we floating? Who's floating?
No.
I thought everybody was floating.
It's only me. I can't make other people do it.
Oh, okay. Sorry,
it's only helpful up to a certain point.
We all float down here. All right.
Malazgar he's definitely gonna like unnecessarily hold his arms out in like this very stiff pose, like it means something, even though he could just
like this. Or
well,
like
no.
I'm thinking
I think it's
downward
definitely going to be praise the sun.
Oh, that's good. Yes, the arms up, kind of. Yes, as he rises up into the air.
That's good because with Malagar and how you phrased it with erect, I was not entirely sure where this was going.
At full staff.
Praise the sun.
Praise the sun. Malagar will go up there and be like, all right, he's going to secure a rope so the rest of you bastards can climb up here.
Oh, you have fly?
Yeah, it's just a thing I do.
You know.
Great.
I have steps of night, which give me a flying speed equal to my walking speed for a minute.
Ooh.
Hot.
Yes.
Ooh.
All right. So it is easy enough for Malagar to zoom up to the top and let down a rope from whoever would prefer it. Malagar, as you get up on the wall, you can see some of the bricks, because you're sharp-eyed anyway, you see some of the bricks start to kind of move.
Yeah, you should get up here quickly because nothing good is happening over here.
All right.
All right.
So Bellewynn first. Who's going first?
Just go. Stop
I get
asking.
going.
Andrew, I don't see your mini in the appropriate place. Would you say it is here?
Yes, at the corner, nearest where the land is.
Down on the corner.
You guys should probably...
Malgar will, in fact, tie off the rope.
Okay. There's some struts and crenellations, whatever, that you're able to tie it off to.
Yes, and he'll keep an eye on those damn bricks that are moving, and that can't be any kind of good.
You guys should remove the icons you have in your characters.
Yes.
Paige, I will take Goose and swim back under.
Okay. And about that time, this is before you guys get off.
Well, I started climbing before Ross went under with Goose.
I know.
Yeah,
So-
so we can decide who got how
I'm
far.
waiting for everybody to
All
go
right.
up except for Lord McGrumpy Pants.
Senor Della Grumpy.
High Lord Grumpy Pants.
Hi, Lord Grumpy Pants.
All right.
Hi, Lord.
Just a moment.
It's better than Malort Grumpy Pants.
Sorry, Hi, Necromancer Grumpy Pants.
Oh, of course.
Necromancer.
There we go.
Nice.
Damn. There's
All
a
right.
step up in the world.
At that point in time, several elven undead pull themselves out of the ground.
Oh dear.
And by several, I mean only two.
Oh.
And this is once we're all up there? Or...
No, this is kind of in the middle.
Okay,
They're interrupting undead.
gotcha.
How rude.
Yes. And let's see. One of them, pardon me while I'm looking for the correct versions of stuff. One of them looks like a kind of a smoke. A figure rises up out of the tomb, trailing blackness behind it like smoke. And Bellewynn, you feel something. We need some good luck. Please get them cats up here. If Munin was around, I would molest her up onto the screen.
Who's a good boy? Is it you?
So anyhow, a figure rises up out of the ground from the tomb itself, and Bellewynn, you feel something important in you move.
I begin casting a spell.
Okay, let's do this in initiative order.
Bellewynn, jump up and high five with me. You got a ranger initiative. You did it.
I
You
got
done do it.
a natural 20 -1.
Yeah, you did it.
Got myself a dirty 19.
I mean, that's what are you doing? So, are you a ranger now?
How bizarre.
Okay. Oh, I didn't roll that. Hang on just a moment.
All right. So, are we all aware of combat, or is it just Malagar at this point?
I'm gonna say that. Hang on a second.
Munin wants us to be keenly aware of combat. I'm not sure if
We
everyone
did
else can
reset
hear.
the cats,
And
but
now-
clearly she needs another reset.
Yeah.
I mean-
now they're in singing mode.
Yes.
We,
Munin does this new trick where she meows at the top of her lungs and then brings us a toy.
It's a good trick.
Yes, and Hugin does it sometimes just because he's seen her do it. He has no idea why she's doing it.
honestly, neither do we. But
Yeah, correct.
It's not uncommon for cats to bring you things that they kill because they like you.
Yes, and this usually comes with great fanfare.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big deal. They're offering you something they killed instead of keeping it for themselves. You should be
Or
very grateful.
They think you're such a poor hunter that
Yes.
they're like, ugh, eat something,
There's
your skin and bones.
There's an element of pity.
Yes. All right. So one of the elven grisly things draws a longbow and shoots at Malagar.
Listen, I'm just here to help you.
Rude.
Uh,
I mean, Malagar will offer a play-by-play. Hey, the 3 ghastly fellows over here, and they're shooting at me.
I have an 11
Well, don't
and
get
a
shot.
17.
But they're not very good at it. But I think eventually they'll hit.
Rude. All right, Ross.
All right. So with Malagar stating that there are combatants on the inside of the wall, I will dive into the water, telling Goose to come along.
Yes.
15, 20.
Oh, how did you get down there?
He swam.
He swimmed.
So that's about 30 feet from there. Paige, when I poke my head out, what do I see?
What you see is a ghostly being rising out of a solid stone tomb here, and a grisly elf-looking creature that has just broken through the stones. They've both left a hole in the stones behind them. They are armed with long swords and longbows.
Does this look like, in a traditional sense, a fight between ghosts?
Well,
Like,
one of them,
do they seem aware of us?
yes, they
They do.
definitely seem aware of you. They had fixed kind of on Malagar, but when you arrive, the Wraith in particular looks at you.
Okay. Well, in that case, I will move to be in his business.
Okay.
When Ross rises out of the water, is there a sound like "Whee"?
Oh,
Because I'm hoping
Splinter
there is.
Cell. Oh, Splinter Cell.
Is that the sound of getting inspiration from making all of us laugh? 'Cause
Sure,
a
that's
good-
the sound of getting inspiration for making all of us laugh.
I pass it to someone else.
Unfortunately,
Who needs
there-
it?
I'll take it.
that was a little bit farther than my single move could get me, so
So you dashed? Is that what I just heard?
Mhm.
that's what I did.
You're so dashing.
Ew.
But I did dash as a bonus very angrily. I hate being seen coming out of the water.
Fair enough.
Very
enough.
private time in my life.
I know. They're interrupting the first swim you've had in a long time. All right, so are you doing anything other than swimming over there and getting angry?
I mean, I've used two move, an action, and a bonus, so...
Good night. All right, after Ross, it is Ms. Bellewynn.
Right then. So, as previously stated, I begin casting a spell.
I decline to counter.
Great. I start climbing up the rope
Okay.
With great alacrity.
with as much alacrity as I can muster.
As her little dwarfy legs can carry her. And then what?
That was an action and a move. I don't know what else you want from me.
Oh, sure. I didn't know if it was a
Your
bonus
bonus.
action spell. There's a lot of paladin spells that are bonus action.
This one, however, is not, because I was expressly told that I'm dealing with undead. So I'm like, all right, cool. I know what to do here.
Alrighty.
Then if you're not going to use your bonus action, give it to me!
Right?
Yeah, I passed my bonus action to Ross.
Good luck with that. All right. So the other elven, grisly, undead-looking thing shoots a bow twice at Malagar again.
I mean, why? Oh, rude.
Take damage as appropriate.
Oh, that is the psychic part of that real?
Yes.
Oh, so that's
Oof.
is that real?
Is the damage real?
Is it
So the
18 plus 16?
yes. So the arrow trails streamers of black and purple energy.
Ugh.
Ugh.
All right, with that,
They're hurting me. They're really hurting me.
a skeleton animates out of the big pile of skeletons and goes.
Oh no, that's where High Necromancer Grumpy Pants is.
Close to where Senor Della Grumpy Pants is, but it just puts Monsieur Della Grumpy Pants into charge range. But I've moved and taken an action, so it's Malagar's turn.
Huh. Alright, well, I guess I should try this. They say this was what I'm supposed to do with the undead. Malagar will reach out with his hand. Oh, and fish out his holy symbol and go.
Oh, right. I'll need that.
No, he reaches
That
out with his
thing.
hand,
Yes.
stops, and then goes fishing for his holy symbol.
Exactly. I can never find that thing. All right. Leave. I'm asking you to leave.
All right, did you just try to turn undead in the Shadowfell?
Yes. What could go wrong? What?
I mean, Ross kind of turns his head and looks back at you. Is that it? Is that it?
All right. With that, every mortal soul within 40 feet can make me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh shit.
That's me. I'm a mortal soul.
Wait,
Hot!
what about my immortal soul? How about that?
Don't think so.
How high up that rope did you get, Bellewynn?
Do we move at half speed when climbing, or?
Yeah,
Yes, we do.
that's standard.
I am 12 and a half feet up.
12 and a half feet up.
Which, if it's turn undead as a range of what?
Oh, no, he definitely gets us. I was wondering if I was still in your aura.
You are not. If I'm so by the power of D&D, I can't actually move 12 and a half feet up, so I'm 10 feet up. So yes, you are.
Yeah.
Hooray!
I think
Hooray
I
for
probably cast
mechanics.
anyway.
Woohoo!
I was just curious. I mean, I'm sure this is the first, because Malagar will doubtlessly try this again next round after it didn't work this round.
Yes. So, Andrew, what is your saving throw?
17.
So it's a DC 17 saving throw.
Oh, it's a Constitution save.
Yes.
Sorry, I thought it was some save for some reason.
Nope.
I'm still
I mean,
fine.
so far we're sitting at the lowest as 20.
Andrew, you don't know what happened. The turn did not go off. It is as if your connection to Selene is weaker here in the Shadowfell, and the necromantic energy that empowers all these things are stronger. But it clearly had no ill effect. You should obviously just try again.
Obviously. Ah, shit.
But you do notice that the undead that are moving. Ooh, you too, buddy. Moving towards you, start moving a little faster.
That seems like the opposite of what I want.
Hey,
I mean, sure.
I have one question about mortal soul.
Okay.
Is Goose a mortal soul?
Fair.
In your heart is Goose immortal soul?
Like she's died? Like no, she's a projection of my magic, I think. You tell me, Paige.
Oh, that's a really good question, Coda. For the purposes of this, I'm going to leave her out of it.
I mean, I think for just, in general, are summons considered to be mortal souls?
Goose is a special case.
Be it that the case is a little outside of the usual, but...
Right. So for now, we're just going to leave her out of it, but do not consider that a definitive answer.
Okay. So for people watching at home, do not update your Pageaverse indexes.
It's a very fun index that we all...
Is everyone here also still injured?
No.
No, we rested.
we've healed.
I feel
Alright,
like
good shit.
I personally have taken at least 10 or 15 points of ongoing psychic damage every round from the internet tonight. But
Yes.
You gotta buff up those saves.
All right, Malagar is going to tempt fate by just knocking back. Well, I mean, knocking back a potion is a item
Action.
manipulation, action, full action.
Yeah.
Never mind.
You can item manipulation to pull it out.
How is
whoa,
D&D played?
whoa!
Pardon
Keep
me.
it PG, y'all.
But
Malagar's
like,
gonna-
Whip this out!
I'm gonna whip it out.
You could go into a combat crouch.
Yeah, I was about to say, if they're shooting arrows at you,
Now the wraith might just fly up and attack you. So
Yes, but that's definitely a good suggestion. That's a good tactical suggestion. And
So you
Malagar,
assume a combat crouch.
yes, he'll assume one of the many yoga poses he knows that reduces his profile.
Oh,
No,
Andrew, you
no,
learned
not
this-
downward facing dog. They're not trying to mount you.
Aren't they?
You
And
learned
even
this-
if they were, you should make it harder, not easier.
You want
learned
like
this
Malagar
watching
makes it harder,
Wildfire,
alright.
didn't you?
you want like cat or snake or something. Crikey, get lower. Child's pose.
Malagar, all right. Anything
I
else?
can't help this booty.
It's just so juicy.
It's just
All right. If you are quite done, sir.
I guess, why not?
All right. First thing this Wraith is going to do is attempt to boop Ross on the snoot.
Oh no, not the snoots!
This
You
is not
boopins.
quite right.
I mean,
with it.
I am not okay with people snoot booping me, and
Well-
it's only made harder by the seaming.
Right. Well, apparently, the first blow swooshes right past you, as does the second.
Nice.
Excellent.
I'm still not sure Roll20's working. On the other hand, this is what my dice are. Okay. Well, that was fun. You can take your attack of opportunity, sir.
Did you just threaten a sentinel?
Moi?
Oh, that's right. You're a sentinel.
Oh,
I sure
yeah!
am.
Well, it's not like the wraith would know that.
Does a 16 hit him?
No, it looks like he is wearing. So the wraith is wearing ghostly remnants of plate armor,
Hmm.
and you can see quite clearly that the figure is indeed feminine in shape. The elven grisly undead things are also pretty heavily armored as well. That was a very disappointing turn for me. Victor, you have a skeleton.
All right. I'll look at the skeleton, and then I'll just teleport up here.
No! Where did you come from?
Using my from my feet, not from a spell slot.
Well, so we're just doing that now.
I mean, you know, you wanted to go the slow way apparently, and I'll shoot at what the heck? I'll shoot at the wraith
Okay.
and shoot and shoot.
Ooh, one good shot.
Yeah, the 23 definitely hits.
Mm-hmm.
So that's only the piercing damage, not the custom damage. And I'll go ahead and action surge and shoot a couple more times.
22 will hit, so I'll take another. So I'll take 18.
Yep.
Alrighty.
Well struck, my lord.
Thank
Anything
you.
else?
No, I'm done.
All right. The wraith seems nonplussed. Your arrows go right through the form of the creature, and it just end up clattering on the ground a little ways away. But you can see they draw some of the dark substance of the wraith away when they do. All right. So I'm pretty okay. All right, so this guy over here on the south side makes the classic gesture.
Brr.
Yes.
Brr.
Yes.
Brr.
Gross.
And
Und.
a skeleton emanates.
Oh boy.
Well, this doesn't hardly seem fair. We're only comfortable when we grossly outnumber our enemies.
These guys aren't supposed to be necromancers. Only the hands are supposed to be necromancers.
I know. And then that's good for me. Ross.
All right. Well, since the Wraith got away from me page, I'm going to use this sculpture as a springboard to throw myself in front of them.
Okay.
And I'm going to attack this Wraith twice more. Yeah. I am not going to recklessly attack just yet. Well, neither of those seem to look like
Nope.
they hit. And then I'm going to use a bonus action to command Goose to attack the other one.
Okay.
And on
Goose-
her turn, she will move and attempt to attack.
Eagerly charges up there.
And she will be back to back with me.
Of course.
Or alligator and dragon dog back to back, as God intended.
As God intended, indeed.
23 to hit on the archer.
Yes, on the elven skeleton in armor. Yes, a 23 will hit.
And I know that says acid there, Paige, but what form, pray tell, is Goose in? Not necromantic.
No, that's not really her shtick.
It was cold at the end of last episode.
What?
There you go.
It was cold at the end of last episode.
Yeah, but Ross doesn't like cold, so she doesn't really like cold. So she's gonna go with.
We've always got the tried and true acidic.
She's gonna revert to form and just go with acidic.
Fair enough. So 9 acid damage.
Alrighty. And that's on the Elven Revenant on the north side, right?
Yes.
Okay. Then we have Bellewynn. You feel an urge to be somewhere east-southeast of here.
Do I feel the urge to herbal?
You feel the urge to what?
Maybe she was born with it.
Maybe it's Maybelline? So I climb another 25 feet as a dash, and that's what combat looks like when you're climbing.
Yay! Full
So-
round climb action.
On the plus side, we're in your aura now.
Well, Malagar is at least.
Yep.
Yay!
I mean, during my climb, I could scooch over so that you're in it too. How about that? We'll do that. Yeah, there we go.
Alright. With that, the Elven Revenant on the north side is going to drop their bow and draw their sword. Pardon me while I Ron Frankie this here.
It's a tried and true form of combat.
Yep. And then
What
is
that
going
supposed
to.
be?
It's a bow,
It's a bow.
clearly.
Don't hurt her gentle feelings.
I mean, she has feelings, alright. I don't know that any of them are gentle.
Very few. Very few indeed. And then he is going to swing his sword at the goose. Take damage as appropriate.
All right. Well, Goose is going to take one of those.
One of those points of damage because Goose is amazing.
Yep.
The rest of it just slides
True.
off.
All right, and then we have skeletons. Rawr. So this one goes over here and starts swinging at rocks
Gross.
in order to give the skeleton or the elven lich a.
Wait, Lich?
They're not really a lich. The elven undead.
They're wannabe liches.
Yes, the elven undead advantage on attack.
Don't you hate it when your DM slips up with a? They're not really liches, but
They're total. The Liches, you know.
Totes. Totes.
totes my liches.
Mm-hmm.
40. 45.
Where did he come from?
60. He came from Double Move Land.
Through a wall?
Under the
You
wall, just
came
like you,
through a
buddy.
wall.
Does he
Yeah, but
know
he has
about
a
the
swim
tunnel?
speed.
Yeah. Apparently he or she or they do.
Okay.
But then they're still moving at half speed underwater through all the silt you described.
Sure. And they were...
They were over here on the other side of me.
Sure.
It seemed like
5.
she double counted. Yeah.
15, 25, 35,
Right?
45,
Okay.
55, 60. So I counted it one square differently last time.
Perfect.
Turns
I
out
think I found a better path last time.
that one square really important.
Yeah. You can jump into the water and save a square.
Good point.
Okay. They have moved up.
Paige has had enough of our sass. I mean, if that's how you feel, friends, you are welcome to give her another inspiration.
I just thought they moved extra fast because, Malagar empowered them all because, like,
Right.
No,
We're trying to forget about that.
those are the ones that have the goat icons. That's different.
You know,
That was-
like that one that just moved.
yeah, like the
Yeah,
one that just moved.
Mm-hmm. I'm aware.
Yeah.
All right. The Wraith says, Rosh, you're up in my face.
Mhm.
I'm not a huge fan, but...
Get used to it, because I live here now.
It's true. It's true. All right. So here's my first attack. Here's my second attack.
Paige, Kurgosh would like to remind you of your chat inspiration.
I'm aware. I'm saving it for something special.
She's saving it for next session. Just
They're,
like
they're
she always
really,
does.
No. All
they're
right.
really hoping for those death saves.
I'm working as hard as I possibly can. So, Ross, those are 2 swings. Oh, pardon me. Yeah, 2 swings from the Wraith. You notice that she is moving faster and more accurately.
Okay.
Gross.
I do get hit by the first one, and for some reason it's got a DC for an escape save on there.
That is if I choose to grapple you, and I do not care to.
Okay.
But you will take 22. You take both of those, not one of those.
So are those independent
It's one
packets
hit.
of damage?
No, it's 1 hit.
Then I will take half of that.
All
I'm
right.
so angry, Paige.
Where? All right, Victor.
All right. I will surprise everyone. And actually, I'll use this spell. Why not? All right. I will look at that foul wraith-like creature through my teeth,
Okay.
and I will shoot at it twice.
A 22 will hit.
You're really consistent on the 22 or the 12. Like,
Yeah.
not the second time you rolled
Well,
that.
but see, this time I'm rolling. I'm not taking the -5, so it's
Here we go.
like if I get a 22 either way, I should just take the -5.
Fair.
But this time the custom damage does apply, so it'll be 12 points.
All right. 12 points on the Wraith.
Yes, on the wraith. Because I mean, we can't. Lich is way out of my pay grade, so I'll just off the lich and then the wraith and then run away.
Okay. Sounds good.
Sounds like a plan.
Then I have... Alright, undead on the south side. I will also attack Ross.
Coda, what are you doing? What are you doing?
I want to see what Paige has in store for us.
So take damage as appropriate.
All right. So that first one does hit me and is unpleasant. And you said those are full packets, huh?
Yes. The 9 and the 16 combined to be 25.
All right. All right.
Okay. So it swings its blade, and like I said, it looks like it's going faster than it would normally do so otherwise.
Gross.
Okay. Ross, your turn.
I'm gonna need some help down here. And with that, I'm going to start attacking the elven-looking bag of bones to my south.
Okay.
Instead of the revenants. I'm sorry, the lich. I'm sorry, the not lich.
I need a name for meaty undead that is
So you go with lich?
Or you could just tell us what they are.
It's like we've got skeleton lich. Nothing in between.
I mean, technically, you might call it like an elven revenant, but they're up-leveled and blah, blah, blah.
All right.
Oh, great.
I've got a 24 on the first hit for 11 points of damage. And a 28 on the second hit for 16 points of damage.
Ooh.
Good hits.
I will then bonus action bite him.
Right in the face!
I mean, if he wants to boot my snoot, I will give him full snoot.
Let the snooting begin.
For a unnatural 20.
A
Dealing
20 just hits.
12 points of damage.
It just works.
Noted.
And because that is my Hungry Jaws ability...
Jaws.
Let me find it.
Jaws.
Jaws.
Dags.
Like digs. Where's my freaking Hungry Jaws ability? My Hungry Jaws ability gives me 3 temporary hit points.
Hungry Jaws.
Yes, you consume some of the skeletal silliness of its flesh, and
I've had worse.
it tastes awful. All right, so after Ross, it is Bellewynn.
Yay!
Paige,
Yeah,
I can't help but notice you forgot to mark him as bloodied.
I did not indeed mark his bloody.
So we
Okay.
have-
Woo! Good.
Great.
He's
Oh, I'm sorry.
not bloody.
I'm sorry. There is also a spit in there for 5 more points of acid damage.
Yeah, what about now? Is he bloodied now, huh?
Yeah!
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 Extreme!
Extreme bloodiness.
As I said, he, it, they, she, you can't really tell, do not,
I mean, I stopped.
do not assume the bloodied condition.
I stopped to take a look at it after these 3 powerful strikes.
Victor, I'm really gonna need some help down here.
Try focusing fire on the wraith.
And that's my turn.
That's what you get. You get advice. I give you advice.
Go get him, Bellewynn.
Great. So I spend 10 feet of movement getting to the top here,
Ooh, and then are you going to climb? Are you going to climb down?
and then I throw the rope over the other side.
No, you don't.
Well, how far of a drop is it on? Is it 40-foot drop on this side?
It's a 30-foot drop.
This is that scene mid-combat where there's just a leg coming up over the crenellation and taking its sweet time to get its footing, then an arm, and then a Bellewynn.
No, I'm not telling you to jump off, but you can climb without the rope, I'm sure.
Yes,
You
can climb down without rope.
Because it would probably take an action to get the rope down, and you can just climb.
How tall is this statue?
Or 15 feet.
Well, if I can turn this into 2 smaller falls, that's better. All right.
If you yell parkour, you get bonuses.
Right?
Hey, parkour! I leap onto there.
Make me an I leap onto their roll.
Sure, that sounds a lot like athletics, which I just yelled
Sure
parkour
do.
for, so here we go.
You're wrong.
Yeah!
Wow.
All right, so Bellewynn lands perfectly, like superhero pose, on the top of the statue. And
Wow.
it's gorgeous. And then the head of the statue cracks off and falls to the side. Spilling Bellewynn to the ground, and you can take, I don't know, 2d6.
She could have used more tail thrust.
8.
She does all those-
points of damage from falling down.
Great. Make it over here and I stand up, I guess.
You get knocked down, but you stand up again.
And that's the end of the game.
Okay.
Make the concentration save.
I shall.
You might auto pass.
I cannot fail it for that.
All right. This creature will stride forward with its sword to meet Bellewynn.
Gross.
As it walks to you, it casts a spell.
Cool.
Paladin or paladin action.
Dun, dun, dun.
Wildfire counterspell.
It takes but a bonus action.
Great.
I mean,
but-
it probably is actions to spare after it got buffed, so.
Okay. And then it will try to whack you.
Enjoy your disadvantage.
Flat roll.
Why do you have advantage?
Because somebody tried to turn me.
Alright, cool.
Gross.
Malagar's helping.
I was.
You probably were good at this once, but you're really shite now.
Alright, it swings at you and bares its teeth in a soundless snarl. Alright, skeletons. First of all, Grumpy Pants lets you know that from outside near the bone pile, a
Right.
skeleton has come into existence here.
Gross.
Alright.
I tell
5,
Grumpy Fence to fly
10,
casual unless the skeleton approaches him, and then
15,
get the fuck out.
25, 35, 45, 50, 55, 60. Alright. This skeleton tries to hit us a Ross. Seems unlikely. Take any of that damage that's appropriate there, Ross.
I refuse. It bounces off my armor.
There's the next skeleton on Ross. Oof.
Nada.
Third skeleton did their thing. I think that's all the skeletons I got. Do I have one around here? Nope, that looks like it. Okay, Malagar. You are in a combat crouch. It will cost half your movement to stand upright again.
I mean, why would I even get back up again? I'm gonna try this. Give the old symbol a whirl here. Maybe this won't do something terrible.
It's like when the villains throw their gun at Superman.
Exactly.
This'll do it. The bullets
This'll-
didn't do it, but this'll do it.
What could go wrong? Anyways, I spread my arms out in the traditional symbol of the sanctuary of twilight around
Where's the
us.
sun?
Ooh,
The
nice.
dim light. So people can start enjoying, temps whenever they begin their turn here.
Ah, yes.
40 foot, 30 foot.
So
30 foot.
there's an early morning rave?
And I'll set the tone here. Yes, the disco lights come up. Oh. And people will be winning 15 this first time.
Lasers everywhere.
Yes.
All right. Anything else, sir?
That will be it for now. I'm gonna stay down. Stay down. Stay down.
Okay. The wraith sinks into the ground. Au revoir.
Huh?
Hmm.
Where did they go? That can't be good.
Then
no.
the wraith.
Do I get
The
a-
wraith tries to sink.
Do I get
into
a
the-
Oh.
attack?
Yep.
Oh yeah, you do.
Excellent.
Whoop,
Excellent.
whoop.
I don't suppose anybody's got some inspiration they could toss me, do they?
Take my point.
Is that a thing that can be done?
Andrew got an extra one that he said went to somebody. I don't think anybody declared it, so I think you
No,
can
I
declare
think.
I took it. I'll
Ron
give it
took
to
it.
you.
All
You
right,
can have
yeah.
it.
Do we have a floating player inspiration? Did I miss it?
No, we totally do.
Is Stream terrible? Is Twitch
Stream
terrible at
wants
telling me?
death saves.
Okay.
Truth.
I got
Truth.
this. Here we go.
You with me, Stream?
Player
You with me?
inspiration ended with 100% raise. So yes, we do have a player inspiration.
Go!
Good. I'll keep mine then.
All right. Au revoir.
Those are 2 12s.
Damn it, Ross.
If only you were good at this.
I'm sorry, Victor. I really let you down on this one.
It's because you insist on, you know,
All right.
missing.
Like, where are you going with this?
All
I
right.
don't know.
I'm
You
missing
tried-
so much.
You tried your best. It's just, you know, combat.
The wraith comes back up out of the pavement right next to Bellewynn.
Oh,
You can
that's
see
good.
an especial hatred in its eyes.
This is
I'm
good.
shocked.
Leave me be.
I'm so shocked you
Kisses.
came over here to me. I could just die of a heart attack.
We're trying to help you.
That one's functionally invincible, so this is good.
Yes. All right.
Lies. I just took
I have
damage.
advantage. You have
You
disadvantage.
damaged yourself.
1, 2. It's 22 hit.
What?
Fair enough. Victor.
Well, were you climbing with your shield? I guess you could climb with your shield if the other hand was free.
Yes, I was climbing with my shield drawn. That is the correct answer.
Let's see. I was thinking about. What the hell? I'll jump down.
I mean, after Bellewynn did it, how could you not?
All right. So,
I like how Victor's just like, I'm going to take all 30 feet.
I mean, it's less embarrassing to just take the 30 feet than to, you know. Do
But
what you did.
as we all know, falling is free movement. So
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
there we go.
So is that like an athletics check to jump there, or are we just?
I
fall to the
mean,
ground like
no,
Zach?
I'm still gonna take damage, but I don't know. I just thought I'd roll an athletics check for fun.
I mean, you got a good roll for fun. Like,
Yeah. So no, so I think I take the full damage. So 3d6. Are you gonna roll it, Paige? You want to roll
I
it?
got it. Hang on, I owe you another d6 though.
or do you?
So 16 in
Yeah.
toto. 6, 4, and 6.
That's a good character creation die roll right there.
That was higher than I. Can I go back to the top of the wall?
Nope.
And then I will stand up. And then I've got 5 feet left. I'll move it there. And let's see. So right now I have a bow in my hands.
Mm-hmm.
That seems like hardly a problem for you.
Want it to turn into a sword?
Okay.
What say you?
Does it turn
Make me basically a charisma check.
All right,
Ooh.
excellent.
It says it's nice to want things.
I'm going to use
Not say
my. I'm going to use my inspiration on this.
Okay.
Oh,
Because how shitty would it be if you were just like, all right, turn into a sword, and the sword's like, nah.
Sure, you can do it as a bonus action.
hooray! And I should have gone over there. That's fine. I'll do the next turn. All right. I shall attack. I don't know how to ping, but the one with the goat emblem near me, that is a skeleton. No, I'll go after the meat.
Okay.
I'll go after the meaty one.
Okay.
All right, meaty one. Prepare to meet your maker.
Oh, okay. Inspiration for Mr. Frankie. 29 is gonna hit.
God, I hope 23 does too.
23 does as well.
All right.
Do I
So
take
two-
all of
No, just the first number. because my mark is still on the Wraith. Or I probably should have attacked, but whatever. All's well. I was trying to take some heat off of Ross. All right. On guard, foul skeletons.
Okay. Noted. Damage
I'll
taken.
take my sweet, sweet tips, too.
Please do.
Yeah.
All right.
Which they were at the beginning of my turn before I jumped.
Whose bad choice was that?
All right. So that is the end of the round. So the elven undead on the south side will attempt to fillet our friend. No, not Ron. Coda.
What,
All right.
What Coda's not a character in this
Not a
game?
character.
Ross.
They miss me. Haha.
Haha! I'm
First
ensconced in my house on the
Second attack.
internet.
Oof. That second attack is going to cause some feelings.
They are both going to hit, though, unfortunately.
So it's 25 on the first one and 9, 20, 37 on the second one.
Thanks. You should retract into your shell.
Ooh,
Right?
I do that.
Yeah, because you're a turtle, right?
Yes.
What?
I am now. Paige, I've got some good news for you. I am bloodied.
Today.
We're that much closer to getting a memory out of Ross.
Woohoo!
What do you want from my resistances? I've got a sack of hit points and half damage, Paige. That's pretty much my character in a nutshell.
I hope
It's
you
what he's
would.
good at.
And, cold
Nope,
resistance.
I have no other special powers whatsoever.
You have Goose is your friend. If that's not a
Yeah.
special power, I don't know what is.
This is a
That's
special
true.
power.
I also have the power of friendship, Paige, the most powerful force in the universe.
It's true. It's true.
The
All
friends you made along
Ross,
the
it
way.
is your turn, buddy.
All right. Well, speaking of the power of friendship, I'm going to introduce the elven revenant next to me to my best friend, Magic Longsword +1.
Okay.
The first attack will be a 19. The second attack will be a
19 will
20.
miss. A 20 will hit.
That's going to be 10 points of damage.
Okay. This one is also bloody.
Then I will step back to be with my friends. Oh, there was also some acid spit in there for 3 more points. And then I'll say, "Now, Goose."
Do
And
I get
she
an?
will.
Why do I not get an attack of opportunity against you?
I don't know.
He was just trying to be slick.
Yeah, I just.
You tell me, Paige. Why don't you get an attack of opportunity against
I mean, you just said you don't get it, so clearly...
Ah,
that?
it must be true.
And then Goose will attack the meaty one behind us
Okay.
on her turn. A 24 to hit for 8 acid damage.
Nice.
Good work, Goosey. All right.
Wow.
Anything else?
That is me.
Bellewynn.
Oh, don't forget your 15 temps.
Ooh.
All right. Well, I have one tough. I guess tough. I don't know. They're rather incorporeal customer here that I'm gonna, whack about the head, neck, and shoulders area. So let's see how this goes. Come on,
If
dice.
you could quantify that whacking, please.
I'm getting there. 26.
All right. Hits.
I have 11 points of magical piercing.
Take it.
I will then do it a second time.
Ha
Ha ha ha! Or I won't, but I'll feel really good about the first hit.
All right. With that, the wraith starts reaching towards you, and we'll have to find out what happens next. Next week on Feats and Fables.
No. I bet she's nigh invincible.
I mean, the last part of my turn is to tell Lord Grumpy Pants to go forth and go get Wildfire.
From where he's meditating on the celestial mechanics of the Shadowfell and the Feywild, right?
Yeah, 100%, right?
Excellent.
I was not entirely certain that you weren't going to end that sentence and tell Lord Grumpy Pants to grump.
I mean, he's gonna grump with my bonus action. It's gonna be great.
Good. You give Lord Grumpy Pants your bonus action and not me?
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
Hurt.
All right.
mean, if you want to be my mount, I can start giving you my bonus actions. But
I
don't think this stream is rated for that.
Well, this isn't some 1950s marriage where we have separate beds and all that stuff. Like, come on, this isn't WandaVision.
We definitely do have separate beds in separate tents.
All right, I'm going to obviate this conversation by just going directly into the outro.
Well, as I control the horizontal and the vertical,
Thanks for joining us on this adventure. Please bring your friends to enjoy the show with you. Thank you, chat, for inspiration and patience with our feats and foibles when it comes to tech support sometimes. We love having you with us. We'd like to thank our listeners and supporters, particularly Brother Flounder, Kurgosh. Help me out, Peta.
We've got Tavis JF, Kurgosh, and Brother Flounder with the 3 gift subs. Y'all, thank you, everybody. We are so close.
Yes.
So
yes,
close.
And I'm very glad that Tavis Cat now watches us.
Yes.
For like 7 months.
Yeah,
I know, right?
But we are this close to unlocking another Twitch Feats and Fables emote. So tell your friends, have them sub so that we can get.
Or just follow.
I forget who's left. It's going to be either a Bellewynn or a Malagar.
Ooh, those are both excellent choices.
We're on to the new characters.
And
I mean,
depending on the amount by which we exceed it will determine the amount of clothing that Malagar is wearing.
Excellent.
No, that's not true. That's not true. Paige, we talked about this.
Join us next Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time here on Twitch to see what happens next and follow us to adventure!